everyone? Welcome back in for another edition of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show here in the Colin Scroggins studios. It's Thrift Manager Richard Holdridge on a late Wednesday night, and we have a ton we're going to be getting into. We got volleyball and softball rankings. We're going to be dropping top 5 in softball, top 10 in volleyball. Then we're going to talk about the 5 football games we are broadcasting this Thursday and Friday. What a slate. Big Rich, good evening, and hey, it's football. Week 2 in Georgia, week 1 in Alabama is a day away.
I'm so excited that it is week 2 in Georgia, week 1 in Alabama. Some fantastic Friday night football games and Thursday night as well. And we got a little bit of clarity from week 1 in Georgia. We've kind of seen which teams are great. And we also have seen some teams that can compete for a championship. And I'm excited to talk about all of it.
Yeah, I am too, Richard. And we're going to have a ton that we're getting into. And we'll have some quick previews in the 5 games that we're going to be calling. And then we'll talk some Clingstones as well, because then a big announcement was made is that Chris Sale is going to be making an appearance this Saturday at Synovus Park, and I'm looking forward to being there. I will be in the booth with Jack Johnson, a part of that broadcast, and it's going to be a ton of fun. Looking forward to calling some baseball. So busy next couple of days between kickoff for calls, Saul Smith Station, Carver Spencer, and then being able to get the Clingstones. I'm living the dream, man. Next 3 days are going to be a whirlwind, and I'm super excited about it. But, Richard, you kind of broke the news. Seeing Chris Sale is now going to make a rehab start here at Synovus Park on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm excited for you, Thrift. You get to be a part of history. This is one of those moments where were you at Synovus Park when the 9-time All-Star, 2-time Cy Young Award winner Chris Sale takes the mound. And the reason why he is pitching on Saturday for the Clingstones is because Gwinnett's on the road. The Atlanta Braves want to keep him nearby just to evaluate him because they want to get him back in the starting rotation. I know the Braves, it seems like they're out of it, but they did rattle off 6 straight wins and then, picked up 1 or 2 against the White Sox, and their best pitcher has been Chris Sale, and we're going to get to see him at Synovus Park. You can add another one of those great baseball players to pitch in Columbus, and those Chris Sale Columbus Clingstones T-shirts are going to be flying off the shelf. Game's already sold out. Yeah, good luck if you want to try to buy a ticket. You could try to buy a ticket from a season ticket holder, but you're going to pay a lot more than the retail value. Just go on StubHub. You'll end up seeing how much those tickets cost, but I can't wait. I'll be there because I got my media credential, and I know you're excited about it too, being up in the press box with Jack Johnson.
Richard is like a kid on Christmas and at a candy store. He can't wait to flash his badge for his media credential.
Fanboy Chris Sale.
And then, fanboy Chris Sale, and then the way you just smirked at the fact that you got a credential and no one else does. You think you're better than me, man?
You think you're better?
Go get your shine box, Rich. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, it's the volleyball, softball rankings.
Here we go.
Alabama Sports Live. We know we love rankings. We're dropping them here. Be right back after this.
Here they come! More big transport trucks full of new GMC trucks and SUVs to Glenn Smith and Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of the best-selling full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $12,750 off. New GMC Terrains with a fresh design, a spacious interior, and safety features, discounted up to $4,000 off MSRP. Plus, enjoy no payments until November at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Imagine making your dreams a reality, achieving your goals and aspirations, and having a financial partner that understands your dreams never sleep. At Kinetic Credit Union, we're more than just a bank. We're 40,000 members strong with local service, personal connections, and a nationwide network. Leading-edge technology to help you make financial decisions easier, smarter, and safer. We are Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Well, welcome back to the program. And here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live Inside Joke, if you're a really good college football coach, you say program. You don't say program, it's program. And it's what Kirby Smart says. It's what Will Muschamp used to say. He was infamous for it. It's the program, and this is a Georgia Alabama Sports Live
Great
show.
movie, by the way.
Let's get into the rankings, and let's go ahead, and we're going to get on screen here in just a little bit, the softball rankings. And we'll first start, we're doing a top 5 for softball.
Top 5, good.
Why are we doing that, you ask? Well, because Alabama does not play softball in the fall. They play in the spring. So, obviously, we have 12 other schools playing softball right now in Georgia, 3 Alabama, 12 Georgia schools. But we just thought, with only 2 schools being left out every single week, let's make it a little bit more interesting. Let's go to a top 5. Number 5 are the Brookstone Cougars. They got a big win over Manchester literally yesterday, 22-2. Mike Frost was on the call for that. Big win for Coach Stilwell's team, and they are now, I think, 4-2 on the season. Richard,
2-1.
Excuse me, 2-1. But a big win again over Manchester. The only loss, they did lose to Southland, and they got a tough schedule coming up. But Brookstone comes in at number 5.
Yeah, we had an opportunity to call 2 Brookstone softball games this year on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Played a very tough Southland Academy team, but I love what Coach Stillwell has done with this program, and they got a lot of great players, and they're right where they need to be, and they got some tough opponents on their schedule, including Pacelli and Calvary.
Yes, they do. Number 4 is the Columbus High Blue Devils. Now, they've had a tough schedule.
Yes, they have.
But this team made it to a deep run last year.
Sweet 16.
Yeah, in the playoffs. I think Columbus is still going to be one of the top teams in their region this year, so they're going to be in our top 5. They come in at number 4.
Yeah, if you look at their region, I think that the surprise team is actually Hardaway. They actually have a winning record, but they haven't really played anybody.
Columbus played a tougher schedule.
Columbus played a tougher schedule. I can't wait for the Midtown Showdown softball edition. It might feature the 2 top teams in the region, but you can never count out Shaw. I think that what Shaw has done over the years, they've just beat Sumter County 15-0, but it's hard when you're only ranking 5 teams. But we know that Columbus is going to be one of the top teams in their region.
All right. From number 4 to number 3, a team that is always in the top in this area, and Coach Carastori done a great job in year number 2 is the Northside Patriots.
Absolutely.
Now, they lost Abby Lovell, who was the Michael Jordan of softball in this area, but Northside still going to be in the mix to make a deep run this year. And the bad part for them is they play in the same region as the best team in this area and the best team in the state in Harris County, but Northside comes in at number 3.
Yeah, the Northside Patriots 5-1 on the season, and next Wednesday, big showdown with Harris County. In my opinion, the 2 best softball teams in the state. If you really want to get technical, I think these teams are just built for the postseason in South Commons. They got a young team. Coach Carastori's got Cassidy Anderson. She's batting .571.
Right.
They do have a Kylie Friedlay. I remember her last year. She's got 2 home runs this season. Raylan Warren. They've got Taryn Stringfellow. Kennedy Williams. I remember her as a freshman last year. I think that Northside is going to be tested. Obviously, they did get the win over Noonan earlier today. I'm glad they got that in. I know we had some rain. But yeah, some teams to watch out for. Northside will take on Harris County on August the 27th. Then on September the 4th, possibly a Georgia Alabama Sports Live game. They're taking on Stars Mill.
We may
at
end up
the
doing
Rock.
that game.
I'm kind of
Let me tell you who
forecasting.
I've really been high on is Coach Jeff Alstead and his young Lady Calvary Christian Knights. They come in at number 2. They have been on fire.
Undefeated.
And dominated teams that have been put in front of them. I think they are one of the favorites to win it all in the GIAA, and they come in at number 2 and number 1. And probably going to stay number 1.
They're the champs.
They are the champs. They have a dominant team. Coach
Brandon Jenkins. Yeah.
I don't know why I wanted to say Coach Dimitri, but he's baseball. BJ, I'm sorry, man. I love you. That was just a brain fart. But Brandon Jennings comes in and the number 1 team. Quickly, Richard, Calvary and Harris County, the top 2 teams in our area.
Well, for one, Calvary is going to be probably in the championship, maybe against Tatnall, which, by the way, Harris County played Tatnall and lost to them. That's how good Tatnall is. But Harris County, when you have great softball players that have won a championship. So I'm trying to pull up the roster. I think Cricket Colley comes to mind. I mean, obviously she's just a tremendous athlete. We've seen what she's done on the flag football field. But Harris County is the defending 4A champions. So there's really no reason why they can't be number one. And I'll tell you, that will be our biggest softball game next week when Harris County takes on Northside. And I can't wait for that. That is going to be you remember how big those games were last year, where they were packed both at Northside and at Harris County. They're 5-2 right now. Abigail Harrison's got a 6.7 batting average. Caroline Gatewood, Riley Huckabee, remember her from last year's team?
Absolute dominant.
They've got, and Harper Horton, 4 home runs already. I mean, what a team so far that Coach Brandon Jenkins has got. And I think it's going to be Harris County Northside when it's all said and done.
I think that's a good point. Thanks, Rich. Let's move on to volleyball.
Okay.
And let's do the top 10 in volleyball. Number 10 is Russell County. Number 9, Kendrick. Number 8 is Spencer. Number 7, Northside. Number 6, Columbus High, who has played a really tough schedule, made it to
Very
the
tough
semifinals last year. Glenwood, who's not played a game, they're in our top 5, but we believe Coach Kayla Strength's going to have a really good program this year. Did a great job in year 1 in the HSA last year. Harris County, the surprise team, had a losing record last year. They're 8-2 to start this year.
8-2.
Calvary, undefeated. We just saw them yesterday, dominated Strong Rock, and I think the top 3 teams in our area are probably the top 3 teams in the GIAA, and all 3 potentially could win a state championship. Brookstone, number 2, Lee Halverson has done an amazing job with that program, and the number 1 team, defending champion, even with a new coach. I know they're young, but they're off to a 12-1 start, are the Pacelli Lady Vikings.
Let me tell you the reason why Pacelli, Brookstone, and Calvary are all 1, 2, and 3 respectively, because they have some of the best volleyball players in our area. With Pacelli, Shannon Menifee, you've got Madison Resnick. For Brookstone, Carson Galligan. Calvary's got Abigail Holder and Abigail Steffens. I mean, these are like, you put all 5 of them on a court together. I mean, these are just the best of the best. And they're all in the same region, and they can make a deep run in the GIAA championship. Remember, it was Pacelli, Brookstone. That's why they're number 1 and number 2, because these were the 2 teams that met in the GIAA championship. As for Harris County, what a season they're having. I did not expect to see Harris County and with an 8-2 record. That's why when we were coming up with these rankings, we need to reward them and put them number 4 in our poll. We know that Glenwood's going to be good. They have not played a game yet, but Coach Strength, it's got some great players, and including you have some great players. Columbus, Northside, Spencer made it to the second round of the playoffs last year. Kendrick made the playoffs last year, and then Russell County. I thought it was a toss-up between Russell County and Smith Station. We'll see Smith Station tomorrow on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. They're taking on Pacelli. Who knows? They might come into our ranking.
Yeah, and it's a great ranking.
I know it's a mouthful, but I love volleyball. I call a lot of volleyball games.
You do, and we can't wait to see the top 3 teams face off against each
by the
other
way,
multiple times this year.
Emerson White was the player I was thinking of for Glenwood.
Emerson's done an amazing job over for the Gators. So here's our top 10 for volleyball, and I can't wait. And I'm trying to see. I'm looking at the schedule right now. I thought I saw that this upcoming week we potentially, yes, we do have Pacelli at Calvary Volleyball next Tuesday.
Sign me up for that one.
Holy smokes.
Wow.
I cannot wait. It is going to be a lot of fun for sure. That is 2 of the top teams in GIAA and 2 of the top teams in our region.
And remember, they got to play 3 sets in the GIAA.
Best 3 out of
that
5.
could be a 2.5-hour match.
At Calvary, it is going to be packed house for sure.
Student section from both Pacelli and Calvary.
Sign me up. All right, let's take a quick break, and when we come back from break, we'll have more here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and that includes previewing the 5 games we're going to be broadcasting this week. Be right back after this.
It's a great day for a new Chevrolet from Glenn Smith and Opelika. Hit the road in a rugged new full-size Chevy Silverado with discounts up to $12,250 off MSRP. New Chevy Traverse, the spacious and comfortable ride with affordable pricing. Now with discounts up to $4,000 off MSRP. People from all over the USA are coming to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Welcome back to the program here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Richard Olgers, Thrift Barringer, late night edition on Wednesday. Rich, we got 5 games we're doing the next couple of days. You know that?
Oh,
But
yeah.
I first want to say that tomorrow we will both be at Kickoff for a Cause, which is a nonprofit organization in Twin Cedars who helps the Ann Elizabeth Shepherd Home, which is a shelter for women.
Yeah.
And they need to raise money to be able to grow the house, to be able to help women that are in need. And Twin Cedars is an awesome organization. So they have Kickoff for a Cause, which is the event that basically they raise money and they center around football and college football teams. So I can't wait to be there. The tailgate food is delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Me, you, DJ Jones, Zay Plata will be a part of it. I'll leave there to go over to call Smith Station Shaw tomorrow night. You'll say and still be the sideline reporter and be a part of the stream as we bring you that. So can't wait for Kickoff for a Cause. But we start off with Smith Station Shaw. I'm going to let you get this one, Richard. Shaw, tough week last week against Northside. They're licking their wounds. As for Smith Station, Blair Harrison would love nothing more than have a confidence booster injected in his program, getting the first win in 2 years, and it being on the road against the team and school he was just at in Shaw. Even though there was no bad blood, you always want to win. What are you looking forward to with this one?
Well, I'm looking forward to this being a close matchup like last year's State Line Showdown where Shaw defeated Smith Station 15-6. It was a lot closer than expected. But this Smith Station team is a new Smith Station team. Coach Harrison has breathed in new life to this program, and they are buying into what he is selling. And they do have some young players on last year's team. We all know what happened last year. They did not win a single game. Just going through the turmoil of having 4 coaches in the last 4 years has been tough on the program. But Coach Harrison is building the foundation, and I think it's fitting that he is facing the team that he was the coach and the AD for a couple of years. And it's going to be lively down at Otis Spencer Stadium. I know Shaw's used to playing at Kinnett Stadium, but that's okay because they got another game going on. But Shaw, Smith Station, we'll have it for you on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I think that Smith Station needs to make a statement here. They're a 7A school. This is one of those games. You look on the schedule, that they look and say that this has to be a win.
It has to be.
Because it's a 2A school. You feel like you're better than a 2A school. I'm kind of reminded of 2021 when Smith Station played Columbus and they beat them 50-0. And this was after losing to Russell County. Well, they were supposed to beat Columbus because they're a 7A school in Alabama. And I think it's the same situation. They've got to get up for this game. As if you're Shaw, you don't want to start 0-2 because you have a tough non-region schedule before you get into region play. Yeah, they took one on the chin losing to Northside last week. But the big mystery is Aaron Grant. We talked about Aaron Grant being this dual threat quarterback. He only saw 1 snap at quarterback. They had DJ Peterson in. How many snaps is Aaron Grant going to get at quarterback? Or is Coach Gardner going to go with DJ Peterson? I know that Aaron Grant's trying to get recruited as a wide receiver possibly. I mean, there's a lot of question marks. But we'll find out tomorrow. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait.
Thank you for that analysis, Richard.
You're welcome.
Dissecting it as best you can. But I'm with you in everything you just said. I do think if you're Smith Station and you make mention of the 7A and 2A, I think Smith Station's roster has been about equivalent to that of a 2A over the last couple of years. So now that they're rebuilding it back up, obviously you went 0-10 last year, losing to Shaw. That should not happen this year if I believe in Blair Harrison. But if you're Shaw, starting 0-2, knowing what you got coming down the pike in a tough region, still got Carver, still got Spencer, still got Sumter County. Yeah, I don't think that's where you want to be. So big game for both teams. I do think if you're Smith Station and you think this year you're going to win 3 games, this has to be one of them. If you're Shaw, even if you start 0-2, playoffs are still in your forte because I think roster-wise, outside of Carver, you're about as evenly talented as everybody else in your region. So I'm not going to give up on them yet.
Yeah.
Other games that are happening tomorrow, which includes Columbus High, I think Coach Peters' team could be 2-0. I think Kendrick, who takes on Best Academy, could start 2-0. So if Columbus beats Greenville, Kendrick beats Best, the 2 teams I thought could be most improved and were vying for who I was going to vote for will be 2-0 to start the season.
How about that?
Both of them, we got Columbus at Connect. We got Kendrick that is going to be at Memorial Stadium. I think Kendrick wins this in another low-scoring game. I'm going to predict a 24-10, 24-14 game. Coach Mayo's team goes to 2-0, and they look like every bit the team that could win 5 games this year. On the flip side, Columbus, Greenville's a little bit better than the team they played last week in Miller County.
1-0.
Greenville did already start the season 1-0, but I want to believe in Columbus High. I'm going to go 28-24 Blue Devils with a win tomorrow. Give me both of them starting 2-0, and I think that is a great storyline for this area.
Yeah, I think Greenville's going to have a hard time stopping Andrew Smith.
And he needs to have a big game on the ground. He had 3 rushing touchdowns last
3 rushing touchdowns. I expect him to maybe get 2 or 3 more rushing touchdowns. I think Andrew Smith is a playmaker. He's going to find a way to make plays and get big yards, when it comes to breaking out of tackles like he did, against Miller County. As far as Kendrick, just keep doing what you're doing. Kendrick is playing another team that they lost to closely last year on the road. This is a game in Best Academy that they should win. And I can't wait. I'm hoping that Kendrick and Columbus, after the night is done, that they are 2-0.
And I think that we have a great night tomorrow night, Muskogee County showcasing all these teams. We're all going to be able to broadcast Otis Spencer, Smith Station, Shaw, but we are cheering on Kendrick and Columbus. Let's go to Friday, and we got 4 games slated. We'll first start with Pacelli. They need this game massively. Tatnall, I think, is not a really good program. Brookstone took them to the woodshed. I think Pacelli is going to get a much-needed victory, and I think they're going to dominate Tatnall, to be honest with you. And they need this. Bobby Gary, and they need a lot of their guys that are coming off injury, guys that weren't there last week. They need them at their peak. So I'm going to say Pacelli is going to get a big win, and that's going to be 7:30. Dave Plata on the call, Richard. Again, we'll talk more about these games on high school game day, but just want to do some quick insight. Dave Plata on the call, Rich.
Yeah, I expect Bobby Gary to have a big game throwing to his big target, Jason Davis. Got to get the ground game going with Cam Carino. He is their leading rusher. DJ Colvin is going to be asked to get some carries. And then Malik Rogers, also a freshman wide receiver. But it's really the defense led by Skylar Sanchez. Can that Nighthawk defense stop Tatnall? We saw Brookstone we give up 6 points against Tatnall Square last week. And I think Pacelli's going to have a bounce-back game. After a loss to Stratford, coming back, Dimal Field, where they're great at. They have the great home field advantage at Dimal Field.
Can I tell you this, Rich? They start 0-2. They are on the road the next couple of weeks.
Oh, man.
That's not what you want. If you're Smitty Grider and this program. All right, let's move on from Pacelli, Tatnall, some other games. We're going to have 2 games we're going to be on the road for. Glenwood at Valley, Harris County at Troup County. Now, for the Gators, we need a big victory to start off the season. That's what happened last year. Remember, it was a catalyst to an undefeated season. Valley's much improved. They're going to be well coached, and it's at Valley, and we're going to shut down the town for it. Gator fans expect a good one. That will be at 8 p.m. Noah Shelton and Mike Frost on the call. And then the other side, Rick Beach and County. How about they got a big win over Manchester like last year? Can they repeat and beat Troup County like they did at home? Going to be really tough. I think this Troup County team is going to be a team that could potentially win a state championship in 3A. But with that being said, I never count out a Tommy Watson-led team. If they keep it low scoring, don't make turnovers, they'll stay in this. The problem is firepower offensively. I don't know if they can keep up with Troup County. That's at 7:30. Rick Beach will be on the call.
Well, let's start with Glenwood at Valley. Valley went 5-5 last year. They missed out on the playoffs. But remember, this is a 5A team that lost to Glenwood 21-20. They don't forget that. They were up 20-0 in that game. This is a revenge game for Valley, but they've lost a lot of their key players from last year, including Galvin Goss, who had 14 touchdowns last year, and Tylen Carroll had 11. They are gone. They have graduated. I really think Glenwood is going to have a new starting quarterback. They're going to have some new weapons. Cal Lawrence probably going to be their top receiver. You have Carter Judah, who was their leading rusher 2 years ago. I know that Coach Ryan Nelson's going to have he was going to name the starting quarterback. I'm interested to see this matchup at Rams Stadium. You know the Glenwood fans are going to travel. And then as far as Harris County, Troup County, this used to be a one-sided rivalry. Coach Tanner Glisson had an incredible Troup County team. In 2022, went all the way to the semifinals with Teo Todd, who was practically Superman.
Yeah.
And then Harris County surprised them last year. Harris County got the win against Troup County. Remember, Harris County's best season 2 years ago in 2023, they lost to Troup County in the opener.
Yeah.
And that was they had to.
This means nothing.
Yeah, it's the past. I understand. Harris County's more improved. Troup County with Garrison Edwards, now that he's the quarterback, I cannot wait because we're going to have our first appearance at Callaway Stadium on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
And I'm nervous about it, but I'm also very excited.
No,
so.
it's a great venue, and it's the home to Callaway, LaGrange, and Troup County up in LaGrange. They shut down the town and enjoy a great night of Friday Night Lights.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't
Yeah.
wait for it, Richard. All right, and final game that we're going to be broadcasting is Carver versus Spencer. It's the Heritage Bowl. 60 years have been playing this game. This is the fifth straight year me and DJ will be calling the game. It will be at 7 o'clock. Kickoff, counting on the kickoff at 6:45. I cannot wait for it. We've talked about this and we're blue in the face. It's going to be a lot of fun. Really don't have to rehash that. I do want to kind of touch on some of the other games. Brookstone goes to Valwood. This is a big game. Valwood, a 3A powerhouse in GIAA, and Valdosta. Brookstone trying to continue the momentum. They look like a really good team, and it's going to be a tough matchup between Valwood and Brookstone. That will be at 7:30. Brookstone is on the road. Jordan also takes on Bremen. They're going to be at Bremen. Let's see if Coach McDaniel and the McDaniel and the Red Jackets can get off to a good start. And Hardaway, I think, is
Booker T. Washington
on Thursday night on the road. So we'll be trying to keep up with them. So any other games am I missing around there? Russell County.
Russell County is taking on Carroll on the road.
And we want big things for Russell County. They're number 2 in our rankings right now.
Yeah.
And so they'll be
Get a
taking
big
on
win.
Carroll.
Try to get a big win on the road. That's what they got to do.
We will talk about that game extensively, and also we will have it a part of halftime with the score updates, and then we'll pick the game on high school game day. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back, and we'll wrap it up here on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. Welcome back to the program, everyone. Thrift Barron here, Richard Holdridge. This is Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. And, man, we've had a lot of fun here tonight. We dropped
we
the
did.
volleyball and softball rankings. We previewed the games that we're going to have in our area. We'll touch on them more. High school game day, 6 o'clock. Rich will be live from the Beck Center. He'll send links out to myself, Noah Shelton,
Dave Plata.
and also
And Rick Beach.
Rick Beach. All four of us will be there, and then we'll talk about some of the other games that are going on. Richard does a great job facilitating that. And then we have the halftime show in between games that we can't wait for. So a great lineup for you. So remember, tomorrow we got Smith Station at Pacelli Volleyball, and we got Smith Station at Shaw Football. On Friday, 4 games. Tatnall at Pacelli, Harris County at Troup County, Glenwood at Valley, and, of course, the Heritage Bowl, Carver versus Spencer. All of them part of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. On Saturday, we got something great. We're going to be at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC at 11 o'clock. And then at 5 o'clock, we'll be live from CVCC ahead of their fall kickoff, in which the students are invited. They're going to have food trucks. It's going to be a great event. It's free to the public. Come out, show support to CVCC, and they're going to be home again on Georgia Alabama Sports Live this year. We cannot wait to have Pirate and Lady Pirate athletics again for the 3rd straight year.
Yeah, Georgia Alabama Sports Live is the exclusive home of CVCC Pirates and Lady Pirates. I'm excited to be a part of it. I can't wait to get out there and call a game with the commander, Robert Edmonds. And I love hearing his call and his nicknames for the Boss Man, the Colonel. I love it. I cannot wait for CVCC Pirates and Lady Pirates basketball.
Well, thank y'all so much for watching. We are presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Thank you to Glenn Smith always for being a very important sponsor. Jerry, the original first sponsor on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Kinetic Credit Union. Get all your banking needs for the Kinetic Credit Union. They've been our presenting sponsor since last January. Coca-Cola. We've signed on with them for many years, and we are so excited. We thank Coca-Cola for their deep ties within the community. I don't drink anything but Coke products, man. Thank you to Coca-Cola for being presenting sponsor. And finally, Houston Clinic and the Jack Houston Memorial Hospital Injury Timeout. Thank you to Houston Clinic for coming on as our final presenting sponsor. Man, I'm so excited that we brought them on. Thank you to Mark Baker, the CEO, for being part of what we are building here. Houston Clinic, they have changed many players' lives that have overcome so many injuries, and then they're all over the Southeast. This is a huge partnership for us to get in with Houston Clinic. So thank you to our presenting sponsors. Any final thoughts, Richard, before we get out of here?
No, another great show. I can't wait for that Glenn Smith show where we recap week 2 in high school football. And we talk about that rehab start by Chris Sale. I know that can't get any here sooner. What a great weekend of sports in this area to have high school football and to have the Cleanstones in town and Chris Sale making that start. Oh, unbelievable. And week 0 in college football. I know not a whole lot of people are going to be paying attention to that, but, it's just around the corner next week.
Yeah. Gaslighting and unsolicited hot take will be back next week with college football being here, so I look forward to dropping that. Thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see you next time, and have a good night, everyone. It's the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. High school football week 2 starts tomorrow.